opening to our presentations, and this section really is just so that you get a bit more insight into One Life, One Love, Healthy Lifestyle Foundation, and us as a team. I want to explain a little bit about the hats more so than the mask, because I think we all know what the masks are. These are the things that we put forward, and you know, you may not be feeling too great, but you put on the face. You know, you may feel broken inside, but you put on the face. People say, how are you doing? And you say, I'm fine. The good old British way, you know. And very early on, from childhood really, there's this element of, I mean, in this country, we say children should be seen and not heard, years ago. Where I came from, don't be seen and don't be heard, right? You know, when I grew up here, I would always hear in like public places when certain groups, cultures were disciplining their children, get back, their children should be seen and not heard. Now, my parents never said that. I don't want to see you and I don't want to hear you. People are here, all right? Don't speak, don't come unless you're being called, okay? So we have a different way of life, and we've always been taught to kind of keep quiet, and we've always been taught to not speak up, generally, because there's certain things that are just a taboo to talk about. You know, it's just not said, it's just not done. Anyhow, this is one of the reasons why One Life, One Love was put together, because we want to open up the platforms, advocacy being one of our biggest things. And for me, that was very important because of the things that I had been through. And, you know, it stems from childhood abuse to being in abusive relationships to, you know, work situations that were very challenging where I felt like I was being bullied at work as well. And that really has built me up as a person. But also being in places of, you could say authority, being in kind of senior management positions. What drove that for me, even to get into a senior management position, was purely because I saw things that I didn't like as a staff member, and also to the people that we were serving. And I made it a point to move from being a frontline worker to going into management so that I could influence better, so that I could correct some of the behaviors I saw that really made me feel this could be somebody's brother, sister, family member, and they're being treated in a certain way. And it was really unfortunate because the individuals who I was working with, it was a lot of ignorance, more than it was lack of, rather than it being their inability to do their job. Some of it was purely because they were there for the money. You know, it was easy to get into that line of work. And so they were caring for individuals. And that scared me a little bit. And so I made it a point to actually have a driving force behind going into the kind of work that I want to do. So I digressed a little bit. So background, I'm a mum. I've got 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. Very sporadic in ages. The oldest is 15, youngest is 2. And the others 7 and 4. So I have my hands full. I am contently single, but I have faith and I believe. I'm a believer and I stand bold in that because it forms part of my journey. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. And so I never leave it out of my story because it is part of who I am. And when I'm talking about who am I in this segment, that is who I am. And I've been specialising in health and social care for over 25 years now. Started very young, but particularly in mental health and advocacy. And so a lot of what I'm bringing to the table is through my professional experience.